just introduced, Hannah and me are from the project Plant a Seed, which is happening on the TU Munich main campus in the city. And we want to talk about sustainable food production in the city today. So when we were establishing our project, we were thinking about why should we do an urban gardening project on our campus in the first place. So one of the first things that come into mind is, of course, sustainable living in an urban campus. So maybe some of you have been to Munich already and have had a look at the city center and also the region where the TU Munich is situated. And we have a very urban space here, and we thought it might be great to add some more green areas also for the comfort of the students. On the other side, of course, we wanted to provide a link between the theory and practice. So in different courses and from different backgrounds, the people participating in Plant a Seed were learning about sustainable concepts and theories, but we actually wanted to implement it on the campus to make everyone see how it can be done. And the last point, of course, is also sustainable education. So by providing an urban garden on the campus, we can actually educate other students and also the staff of the university on how to have a more sustainable campus and how to learn more about sustainability itself. So what is Plant a Seed actually about? So in our project, we want to aim to realize the potential of sustainability concepts and of course integrate them into the urban environment. And we want to do this by providing an interactive learning opportunity for students and inspiring creative implementation ideas. And our vision, so the idea for the future, is to develop more solutions for a more sustainable future worldwide, and also raising awareness for the interconnectedness between people, nature, and the climate. So let me first tell you about our story and how the urban garden at TU Munich came into place. So the first step, of course, was planning the urban garden. So you see some of the raised beds that we were planning here. So we have our own team for that, thinking about different designs, also incorporating places where you can sit and study, talk to friends, have a lunch break, to have a living surrounding on the campus as well. Then the next step was, of course, actually building the raised beds. This was one of the first days where we had an actual meeting with all the people from Plant a Seed in person again after a long COVID winter. And we definitely had a big bonding time and a lot of fun on that day, which is very important for such a project. And we were able to build 13 raised beds. You can see one of them on the picture here on our campus. So the next step, of course, was in late May, planting our crops. So here you can see the different crops that we were putting into the beds, carefully thinking about which plants actually match each other and how to care for them later on. So of course, the longest part is the bed tending, actually. So we have to look for pests and how the plants are doing. Look if they need some support, like the beans you can see on the picture here. And of course, watering through the hot, long summer in an urban space as well. But after that, the big reward was coming. So we had our first harvest with a lot of herbs, salads, tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, and much more. And with that harvest that you can see on the picture here, of course, the social idea also comes into place. We were trying to make good food out of all the harvest that we were having and having a good time cooking the food together, which is just another experience when you actually grow the food yourself and then you can taste it in the end as well. So the last part of our first year was the workshop season. So in the fall, when we here in Germany have some colder days and it's not so easy to plant a lot of more crops, we were doing workshops so that we can give like the lessons that we have learned to other students, but also the staff of a university. And here you can see a group of students who were learning which plants you can actually put together in one raised bed, and learning about the different pests and problems that you have when you care for the plants as well. So now you might think that's actually quite a nice story, and of course it's a good time for students coming together and planting things. But what is the value that Plant a Seed as a project is actually adding to the campus? So one main thing is, of course, for us greening the campus, especially in an urban environment where we have a lot of concrete, and we just wanted to put more green spaces into our surroundings to have more comfortable spaces for lunch breaks and learning with other students. Then another value is also producing crops in a limited urban space, which is of course a big topic for the future as well, and providing desperately needed space for insects in an urban environment. And those values we were actually providing also through research. So we did different modules at the university and had bachelor thesis and master thesis to have more research on what values we are adding to our own campus. And of course, the student engagement with a lot of students coming together, learning together, developing projects together, and in the end, the multidisciplinarity, because we are all from different backgrounds from the university, and we believe that we need a lot of different backgrounds and study fields to come to an actual sustainable solution in the end. And now Hannah will tell you a little bit more about our structure and the teams of Plant a Seed.
Thank you. So Plant a Seed is broken up into about 10 different teams. We have management groups, which oversee the finances, HR and PR, and we have hands-on teams, working teams that deal with the beds, building the beds, creating infrastructure for smart irrigation and for vertical farming. So these are some of our working groups. Crop management are very active with the beds. We have about maybe 15 active members there right now. Irrigation has about 5. They deal a lot with programming and Arduino and Raspberry Pi, and they're trying to work in tandem with crop management to add a little bit more technology to our garden and make it easier to water things and make sure that our plants are nice and healthy. And raised bed design works on creating flattering structures that you can enjoy the gardens with on campus or off campus on other potential sites. Our finance team helps us get sponsors, funding, and they help us keep on track with our spending. It's quite a small team. They're very efficient. Public relations deals with our Instagram channel, website, and other social media platforms. And impact management creates surveys and helps form these workshops that help bring people in from within and without for learning more about how to create your own garden at home or anything related to nature and connectivity with city life. Our research team is still trying to get going. We have a lot of open and working on connecting with student boards and creating programs there. Team management works on making team building events, welcoming new members, and making sure they find a place in their team and know how to navigate through Plant a Seed. And vertical farming is trying to establish a base where we can grow food year-round, also in the winter. We've also expanded to Mexico. This is more of a sister project at this point, since there's only limited amounts of hands-on activity that we can do from here. But that's part of our goal as Plant a Seed to expand to other parts of the world. And so, yeah, going forward, we would like to really start implementing this vertical indoor farming, specifically in Weinstefan, but also in other locations. This will enable us to get a greater yield throughout the year and have more controlled growing conditions. And a network for urban gardening has already started in Mexico, but we are looking to implement these practices in other cities across Germany and internationally. And we need help. So if you're interested in working either hands-on or remotely, we are a very ambitious team, and we're very passionate and excited about what we're doing. It's a lot of fun. So if you feel like you'd be interested in helping out regularly or irregularly, please reach out to either one of us and we will help you get started.